With the Australian tomorrow, and the headline reads, ASIO foils spy plot to interfere with election. A spy ring led by a wealthy puppeteer with deep links to a foreign government and its intelligence agencies recently tried to bankroll vulnerable political candidates in an attempt to get sympathetic MPs elected to Parliament. In one of the most brazen attempts at subverting Australia's political system, the network sought to get candidates into positions of power, but was shut down by Australian Security Intelligence Organisation before it could fulfil its ambitions. Caleb, look, I love James Bond and everything spy game where as much as the next person, but this is pretty terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, welcome to the real world in 2022, I suppose. This is how things are done now. And especially now that you know, it's not just a physical thing anymore. We really are talking about online warfare. And we only have to look at the fact that over the last couple of years, you know, we had, I think it was last year, Channel 9, for instance, had their systems shut down by Russian hackers for months. You know, there was one night where they couldn't even get their news bulletins to air, but it took them months to come back from that. So it is entirely within the realms of possibility that a nation, be it Russia or China, and I tend to think that for the most part in this case it would probably be China, because I'm not entirely sure what Russia would want to do with interfering with our elections at the moment. But it really is something we should be worried about. Because the ability to do this is easier than ever. Technology has made it easier than ever. And as much as we have spent a lot of money in the past on our Defence Force, and there's no reason we should stop doing that, we have to start thinking about having a Defence Force of some kind in similar form for digital means, because that is what is coming for us. That is how countries like China and Russia will try to target us. They'll try to do it through our parliaments. They'll try to do it through our technological systems. But if we're not ready for it, they will come for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Also on the Australian tomorrow, it's like you've already seen the news. It's crazy. The headline says Chinese hackers steal passwords. Chinese state-affiliated hackers have targeted a major Australian media company, stealing passwords and data using a publicised vulnerability within hours of the software flaw being revealed. Australia's biggest cybersecurity company, CyberCX, said the attackers moved swiftly to exploit the log vulnerability in December last year. And that kind of leads me into this whole space, Caleb, right? Like, hackers, in my mind, are used to just be stoner virgins living in their mum's basement, right? But now this is legitimately terrifying when all of our details and passwords and all of our information is so easily accessed, and it's so vulnerable out there in the real world of the online world, I should say. And do you think that we need to sort of start implementing, you know, not just people knowing how to keep themselves safe online, but all of us? I mean, I consider myself to be pretty digitally savvy, but imagine someone like, I just think I worry about my parents and things like that.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, we all have to worry about what we're doing ourselves, but we've kind of made a rod for our own backs here. That is the reality. And we often talk about, you know, there's so much power has been concentrated in a small number of technology organisations. But the only reason that they have that much power is because we have given them that power. And so when we concentrate all of our communications and all of our dealings through, you know, a small number of companies, it makes it so much easier for these hackers and other criminals to get hold of your data because they have fewer places to get it from. And if they crack the system, well, you're in a world of trouble. And as bad as it may be, we've kind of done that to ourselves.
Yeah, indeed. God, get me just a quill and some ink and I think I will be happy for the rest of my life. But alas, we must push forward.
A fountain pen, Jenna. I fundamentally believe that every school student in this country should be given a fountain pen and a nice notepad and learn about the joys of writing properly.
Indeed.